Good morning. Out here in the snow, get a little hike in today. We're in a spot that's part of the Lehigh Gap Nature Preserve. This is called the Double G Loop. Off behind me, you can't see the fence, but there's a fence that kind of cuts you off from going over into the Pennsylvania Turnpike property, 476, right by the Lehigh Tunnel. So we're gonna head off on the trail here. I'll stop back in when I get some cool stuff for you to see. Got my tripod over here. Of course, I'm usually out here taking pictures. Thought I'd try shooting some video today. All right, let's get going. The initial climb, or up to where I am now, was a little bit steep, but it was short. Nice day out here for photography because I got some mist. Eventually I want to head down to what's called I think it's called Three Ponds. Down below here. It's down in that area somewhere. I'm hoping I get some good mist for pictures against the snow. Off into the distance there is Route 248. A little bit of car noise from that. Not too much though. Still a worthwhile hike. Take you in a little bit there. Really some beautiful scenery up here. Game trail off down there. Lots of prints. All right, so today is Wednesday, the 23rd of January, and yeah, I'm counting down to spring even though I'm out here in the snow. 55 days. I'm ready for it already. I do like hiking out here in the snow, but it would be great if it only snowed in the grass. I didn't have to do any shoveling. I've been doing a lot of photography and hiking for quite a while, but not really ever done a video before, so thought I'd give it a shot and see how it goes. This is part of the Lehigh Gap Nature Conservancy, Lehigh Gap Nature Center, which is at Slatington, right after you cross the bridge. Off of 873. And they own a pretty good piece of property out here. If you follow the LNE Trail from the Nature Center, it will bring you eventually out to where I am now. and the Bowmanstown area. So here we came to a little sign here. Turn you around. We're on what's called the Double G Loop, and you can see there's a blue blaze. I haven't seen a whole lot of blazes. I saw one on a tree just a few minutes ago. Chestnut Oak Trail will take you a little further out. I'm not sure if I want to head all the way out that way or not today. I'm not familiar with it, but I think we're going to follow that, and then probably end up back down on the LNE and come back to the three ponds. So let's go take a look and see what happens. It's a beautiful day to be out in the woods. Man, it's beautiful out here. It's so quiet. Wow. You can see a yellow blaze up ahead there. Again, this is called the Chestnut Oak Trail. There we go, yellow blaze. I think I'm gonna turn you off here for a minute and get through this little snaky spot. And I'm gonna fold up my tripod too. I'm trying to carry a phone and a tripod and film, and a little tricky. All right, be back in a bit. A lot more blazes on this trail. As you can see, there's 2 in a row here. The Double G, I only saw 1 blue blaze the whole time I was on it. But it was a wide, very obvious trail, so it's not like you have to worry about losing the trail. Which, right now, would be pretty easy to do here with the snow. So, glad this one is well blazed. Slipping and sliding here. Not the best day to determine how long it takes to finish this trail with the conditions. Way up on the top there is the Appalachian Trail somewhere. I should say the trail was suggested to me by a friend of mine who actually works at the nature center. He's a caretaker here. Although he didn't tell me to do it in the snow. So that's where we came from. And we're headed this way. Trail's looking a little bit different now. It's opening up a little. It came through a pretty sketchy section just before this. It's tough to keep your downhill leg on good footing when it's like this. Ooh, what a beautiful, beautiful view. Come in a little tighter, maybe. You can see the river down there. So this is the first time I've been on this trail, and I did not look to see where it actually intersects with the trails up ahead. Part of me wants to say it's going to intersect with the charcoal trail, which I've done many times. Charcoal trail comes down off of the Appalachian Trail at the top. And it is a real pretty hike too. So lots of good stuff up here for hiking. Almost slip sliding away here. Ravine going down there. Looks like we're heading down into that. Okay, I see some signs. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So now we're on the Prairie Grass Loop. Now I know where I am. Wow. Let's take a look out here. bring you in a little tighter. Oops. Wow. Glad I came up here. Prairie Grass Trail. How did it get its name? So the Prairie Grass Trail joins with that charcoal trail I talked about earlier. And it goes all the way down to the LNE Trail. And then below that, of course, is the D&L Trail. This is really pretty in the snow. All right. I think it's time to take some pictures. We'll be back later. And that's where we came from. Look up the mountain a little bit there. Turn you around a little bit here. So behind me is one of the reasons I like to come out in the winter. I love winter trees. So I want to see if I can get a shot of one of these trees against the misty background across the river. So we'll see how that goes. Again, we're on the Prairie Grass Trail, and we're going to be heading this way eventually. Boom, out behind me. But first, let's try and get some winter tree shots. Love that, love that. Oh, look at this view over the river. This is the guy I want to focus on right here, I think. Nice, scraggly looking thing. They always look like they're dancing to me. But let's see how it goes. All right, so we just came down from up there. We're on the Prairie Grass Loop now. And I found this little spring coming out of the rocks. Pretty cool. We're heading over that way. Look at that. And we're heading over there. We'll see you in a bit. So here we are, heading down the Prairie Grass Trail. You can see up ahead that sign. The Prairie Grass Trail doesn't have tree blazes. Instead, it's marked with signs that either have a mile marker label on them like this one, or sometimes just a paint mark on them. Someone else down here, there's the LNE down below. Puppy dog running down there. He hears me. Down there for a run. We're just about at the end of the Prairie Grass Trail. It's going to meet up with the LNE Trail, which is a rail trail. And here's an example of one of the posts that's just painted. And this is a yellow trail. Take a look up here. You can see there's a fence gate here. Some areas of the mountain here, you'll see these caged in areas, and they're places where they're doing revegetation, and they have it closed off so you stay out of there. I'm trying to still work on trying to get the growth back here on the mountain after years and years and years of pollution. You can see down there at the bench, pull you in a little closer. That's where we're coming out, right down there. And that trail down below is the LNE Trail. I believe that's Lehigh, New England, but I'm not a railroad guy, so I don't know all those details. But here we go. Let's see how many times I can slip. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. Maybe I have to be turning you off here. So it's going to round down there. I'll bring you back on when we get down to the bottom. All right, so that's where we just came down. This is the end of the Prairie Grass Loop. The Prairie Grass Loop starts way down at the other end of the LNE. You can see the signage here. And notice that. Black bear activity high. And like I said, I ran into one a couple weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago up here. This is one also that everybody needs to know about. That Devil's Pulpit. Stay away from that thing, it's dangerous. All right. And here's the LNE Trail. It's a nice wide rail trail bed. We're parked down this end of it. So I'm going to head back toward the car. But I'm also going to look for that trail down to the 3 ponds, which should be up here somewhere. All right, we're near the bottom of the descent for the 3 ponds. You can see way over there is a pond. There's one way over there. But in here it's pretty cool. Oh, pretty. We're headed down there. And when we get down to the pond, which is way over there, I'll bring you back and show you around. Okay, so we're down at the bottom. 3 Ponds Trail. There is one big pond right there. We'll come around. I just took a shot over here of that one little tree right in the middle. Let me zoom you in a little bit. You can see it out there on that little island. Did a couple shots of that. Bring you around here. So we're on the property here of an old cabin, old hunting cabin. I actually know one of the relative of one of the owners of the cabin. But the property is actually owned by Lehigh Gap Nature Conservancy, but the owners still have access to the cabin to use it when they want to. You see it's all icy down there. Of course, not icy enough to walk on. That's a pretty little area though. Another one of the ponds over here. Of course, it's called the 3 Ponds Trail because there's 3 ponds. Bunch of geese took off when I got down here. Spooked them off. I want to get a shot of this little scene. Spring house there. And then a cabin in the background. So I'll be back as soon as I'm done with that picture. So here we are again. There's the cabin off in the distance there. Love all the haze and mist up there on the mountain. And as you walk around, spin around here, you can see trails off into each of the ponds. Over that way's one. There's another one up there. And here we are standing right in front of one. A little dock here. I don't think I'm going to trust that dock. But pretty little pond. Pretty cool little cabin to have, if you ask me. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna start making my way out of here. Just do a little spin around here so you can see where we are again. Pond in the background. And cabin up there. And the Misty Mountains. It always reminds me of a little Led Zeppelin there. Misty Mountain Hop, one of my favorites. What a beautiful place. One last look at the cabin. With that awesome mist up there on the mountain. All right, let's head out of here. As I recall, there was a bridge here to cross somewhere, a little bridge. Last time I was here, but that was a while ago. And there was no snow here. Ah, here we go. It's not exactly a bridge. Oh, we got a big pipe here. A drainage pipe. That just wraps around the pond over that way. Pretty sure this is the exit. A bunch of little trails in here. Pond back in there. You can see there's a lot of footprints. It's a pretty well-used trail by folks around here. And a little game trail right there. Lots of little tracks. And here we are. Three Ponds Trail. Now we're down at the other end on the D&L Trail. D&L Trail is right along the river. Much wider too. But it's also, like the LNE, a rail trail. And you can see the Lehigh River. We're standing between 248, Route 248 over there. You can kind of see it across the river. And then the D&L where we're standing. The river is right between them. D&L has lots of little places along it like this with benches and tables to take a break. Again, it's a big biking trail. If you got on it here and you wanted to, you could go all the way up past Whitehaven in one direction, all the way down. I'm not even sure how far it goes. Past Bethlehem, Sand Island, Bethlehem, and down into Easton. Never been down that far. But just up ahead is the parking lot where we are parked for the day. So probably going to end this video soon. I don't know if you can see it, but way up there, if you watch long enough, maybe if I can punch you in a little tighter. Route 476 is up there where it comes out of the mountain in the Lehigh Tunnel. Way up top there. We were actually up there when we first started that G loop, but it's kind of tough to see from here. And there's the dog park. All kind of obstacles in there for the dogs to go crazy on. The thing I do like about hiking back in here is that you can make a loop a lot of different ways. Don't have to do an out and back. It's the only downfall when you hike alone, when you do trails like the Appalachian Trail. It's pretty much you're doing out and backs. That gets annoying after a while, but it's still worth it. And we're coming out to the parking lot here where we started. The D&L just continues that way, eventually up to Jim Thorpe and beyond. It's a nice park up there and boat launch up along the river, maybe half mile up. Pretty cool. So here we are, we're back at the van. And time to saddle up, heading home for some lunch, I think. There's a nice little sign that they call it the 4-mile loop, LNE, D&L down below, where it's where we are now. But we weren't up above that yet. We were above the LNE on the loop, the G loop. This is where I went in right here. It goes out to a road and you climb up to the LNE until you get to the entrance to the trail. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna cut you off here, and until next time, happy trails.